What is up, everybody? This is No Continues, your favorite video game discussion show. My name is Juice, and I am, of course, joined by my good friend and co-host, Benduzo. We got a fun one for you guys today, some little discussions, as always, and we're going to talk all things video games. Ben, how are we doing today?
I'm doing amazing. How about you, Juice?
I'm doing very well. We were just talking before this about daylight savings times, totally screwing us up.
Yep.
Our sleep schedules are going to be terrible for the next few days.
Yep.
So hope everyone gets their sleep in because,
Yep.
it's going to be a rough couple days, I tell you.
True.
But, we got some stuff to go over. We have a Pokémon Presents to talk about. We got some AAA game things to go over, all that kind of fun stuff for you guys. But before we get into that, of course, Ben, what are you playing?
I am currently playing through Monster Hunter Wilds on stream and Split Fiction. At the same time, I'm playing this little Vita game.
Oh, wow, okay.
Project Diva F2nd.
Project Diva.
Yeah.
With Miku.
Yeah, the Miku. I've been having a blast on Monster Hunter. Really good game. I think it's a little bit easy on the easy side. I've been playing since I think the 3DS. So,
sure.
For me, the 3DS games were way harder than this, way unfair in a way. So, but it's good to be back. I always have an obsession on Monster Hunter whenever it comes out. I play until I'm tired of it, and I usually play like hundreds of hours, so that's cool. And usually after that, there's an expansion. So, lots of streams, lots of fun ahead, and Split Fiction is fun. I guess it's fun. I'm playing without the sound because I couldn't figure out a way to have sound on both ears for me and my girlfriend. But it's super fun. It's like a cool platformer in a way, but co-op. So I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast. How about you, Juice? What are you playing today? These days. Yeah.
Before we get to my stuff, I will say I'm not a huge Monster Hunter guy just because I haven't gotten into the series a ton. I have Worlds somehow on my PlayStation. I have Monster Hunter Generations on the Switch.
Yeah.
I will want to get into it. Wilds looks really nice. Like, just looks really nice. This is one of the best looking games easily this year so far. The combat looks really fun. And it looks really nice. And when it comes to Split Fiction, that'll be one that I get to eventually with Mags for sure. Probably, we think we're going to stream it next Monday. Just I'm going to go through the weekend, make sure everything is set up. So, back into some streaming stuff, lately. So Mags and I were playing, Overcooked. We really like Overcooked. That's a really great game. Probably one of my favorite co-op games to play. We also ended up playing Moving Out, which is another kind of like game in the similar vein.
But it's the same
co-op
developers, right?
I think so. I think it is Team 17 or that's the name. We didn't like Moving Out as much. It's really frustrating. It's hard to coordinate. Unlike Overcooked, where there is craziness, but there's a really good way to make a plan. Yeah, exactly. And I really like that. So, Moving Out, when we bought it, was $5. So we got our $5 worth of fun out of it. I suggest trying it. But it's tougher for sure. Than
I saw you guys not enjoying it as much.
By the end, we were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, the end of the
stream we're about like planning and like setting things up, and Moving Out just has more chaos than I'm willing to
Overcook. I feel like there's
exactly
it's not like a rhythm game, but like kind of a similar flow. There's always like a specific thing to do to make the level work or to pass the level, and I don't know, in Moving Out it's a little bit more chaotic.
It is.
I've never played, but I've seen you play it, so that's where
with Overcooked there is like a flow, like you're saying, like when things are clicking and you're passing off the plates and you're doing the things and everything is working, it's very like you're working like in tandem with each other.
It's like kind of like a rhythm game in a way. Like it's
exactly
really rhythmy in a way, which I absolutely adore rhythm games. So that's why I kind of like this game. I just think for me, my personal taste, I think it's still too chaotic. Like I get frustrated a lot. So I'm just especially with a partner. Like it's not that. So
no, it can be tough. But we really liked Overcooked. My own, like, I would say get it on Switch. The only complaint is the load times are really
Oh
bad.
yeah, they're
on
bad.
Switch. They're really bad.
They're really bad.
So that's hopefully an improvement we see next.
It wasn't
gen.
bad 7 years ago though, but now,
yeah, but now it's not great. But I'm also streaming some stuff by myself.
Yep.
I'm streaming Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Having fun with that. Definitely some jank to it. I know you know that from streaming experience too. Still fun though. Still an unbelievably beautiful game.
Amazing game.
This is one of the best looking games still. Best looking platformers.
Yeah, really.
And it came out so long ago, like 2017. Like,
Toys for Bob really did a great job with updating the graphics, because it's basically the same game. It's exactly the same game, actually. I think they just put a new coat of paint to it.
Yeah.
Like, which is amazing. Like, I've played it recently on stream, and I've had a blast playing Crash 1. Crash 2, not so much, because I feel like it's janky. Not janky, but it's like you have to do the level like 20 times in order to not die, and like I don't know, it's just unfair in my opinion. The unfairness of Crash 1 is more the way the character moves in a way. There's like
Crash can be tough. I've had so many times where I feel like I'm totally gonna nail a jump, but I haven't reached the edge. I'm like, there's some draw distance issues. I find, but
once you get used to it, it's not that bad. It's just whenever you're in the bridge levels, which man, this is where it gets super frustrating. And thankfully, there's not a glitch, but it's an intended way to beat it, is you go through the ropes on the side, which I did honestly because I couldn't for the life of me do it like in the right way. It's too hard, you know.
But yeah, that it's still fun. I say definitely get it if you get the chance. Usually it's on sale for $20. Definitely get it. The other thing that I was playing a little bit of was Pac-Man World Repack.
Such a good game.
This is a remake of the first Pac-Man World game from PlayStation 1. I played it on the Switch when it first came out. Now I'm playing it here on the PlayStation 5. It's really fun. If you like 3D platformers, definitely check out this one, Pac-Man World Repack. I would also say if you're a retro game collector and you're big into PlayStation 1 and 2, definitely pick up Pac-Man World and Pac-Man World 2 especially. These are 3D platformers, like I said, starring Pac-Man, and they're fantastic. They're really fun.
And Pac-Man World 2 is so whimsical too. Like it's
Pac-Man
really
World
like
2 so good.
So good. So good.
It's so good. I would say avoid the third one. The third one is more of a beat 'em up for some reason. And its story is like weirdly convoluted and complicated.
Yeah, because it's weird, but it was like a horror writer that came into the project and left halfway through, and it was a known one. I don't remember his name. He did a lot of horror pieces, which are really good, but he left halfway through the project, and then they had to make a game out of it. Figure out the rest. Which the only thing
doesn't work in my opinion.
The way Pac-Man moves in Pac-Man World 3 is better than in 2 and 1. Like especially like the little like it's like a reffing move,
flutter jump.
Which is amazing in Pac-Man World 3 because you have full movement over it and you have momentum based platforming with it. Really cool. But that's pretty much it. The beat 'em up style levels are just boring.
It's really weird.
You have an arena, you beat up some bad guy, and then you have some platforming. Then you have another arena. Like it's not the best. It's not the best.
No.
The story is,
I would say just get the first two.
Yeah.
The first two are really good.
The third one is so cheap physically that you could just take it.
They're all pretty.
Yeah, they're all $5 or $10 each.
Yeah, because a lot of them also, especially the first one got a greatest hits edition on PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
And on PlayStation 2 and GameCube, there was the Player's Choice and same thing, greatest hits version. So they reprinted those games a ton. So you should be able to find them for a fairly good price. And I would definitely say if you've never played these and you are a retro game collector, definitely add these to your collection.
I know I'm being annoying with this, but you should really get it on the OG Xbox. It is where the game runs
OG
the
Xbox
best.
too. Yeah, for sure.
Like every platformer for these 6 generations of consoles, you should always get them on Xbox. They're cheaper.
They're 480p too, right?
Yeah.
Like they're
480i,
progressive scan, not interlace.
Yeah. I think they're 40i.
I thought it was 40p. Oh.
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. Some games are 40i.
Some of them
games are
yeah.
Some are 4080p.
But
You
Xbox
just need
is really powerful in comparison to
and like
the other two.
Especially because I love CRT gaming. I love playing on my big old CRT, you know.
Yeah.
And OG Xbox on a CRT looks absolutely amazing.
It looks fantastic. Yeah.
And I have the luxury of having a very good CRT where I can turn up the sharpness filter or turn it down.
That's always nice.
So I can get them really crisp, or I can get them very like CRT-likey in a way. So
sure, yeah.
But definitely, if you want to start collecting platformers and you're looking at the GameCube prices or the PS2 prices and you're like, you don't have that kind of money, buy them on Xbox. They're cheaper, they run better, and the console itself is cheaper to buy anyway. So
get Pac-Man World, okay?
Yeah, get Pac-Man World.
That's our Pac-Man World.
And Pac-Man World 1 on PS1 is different than the remake, so play it.
It's true. It is different. Yeah.
It kind of.
And I kind of like the PlayStation 1 look.
It's cool. It's cool. The warbly. Warbly effects.
And I also been playing on the Switch. I made a video about it on TikTok. Lego City Undercover.
Yeah, I saw that.
Not sure why I decided to play this. It just happened to be one that I just picked randomly. Yeah. This game was a Wii U exclusive for a long time, like 5 years or something like that. And then eventually got ported to Switch, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. It's a Grand Theft Auto style Lego game. Yeah. And it's not based off of a property. So it's not Marvel, it's not Star Wars, it's not Batman. It is Lego
Cops, which
it's fun. Yeah. It's not bad. We just talked about how much we love Grand Theft Auto and such. So I jumped into a Lego version of it and it's fun. I say I think I bought it on a Black Friday deal, sealed for like $15.
It's nothing.
Like it's dirt cheap. Yeah, you can pick this up if you want to have a good time with your kid, or you just want to have a simple.
Because it's co-op, right?
Oh yeah, it's co-op.
Yeah, which is really cool.
So if you want to have a simple, fun adventure with you and your kid, or just by yourself to clear something out for a weekend, pick it up, give it a go. A lot of random like jokes only adults would get. Like there's a joke about like Clint Eastwood, and it's like, they do like a Dirty Harry reference, which is a Clint
I don't know what it is, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a Clint Eastwood movie from the 70s. I knew it just because I'm so in tune with like popular culture, but I was like, man, no like 11-year-old would know.
What this thing. So it's a game for adults and kids at the same time.
Yeah, basically. It's one of those ones where like you can get like some random humor out of there. I got a couple of chuckles.
Yeah.
Go give it a try. Not that long. Like I think maybe 15-20 hours.
Oh, it's not that bad.
No, and there's full voice acting. It's all goofy. I say it's worth it to give it a try.
Yeah, might pick it up.
Yeah. Speaking of pickups, did you get anything fun, Ben?
I did recently.
You did?
I got Hatsune Miku.
There you go.
New video coming soon about this. Not this game, but about this.
The PlayStation Vita?
Wow. No, just pickups in general. Just a little vlog thing.
Sure.
Yeah. I got Sonic Colors for the DS.
Okay.
Yeah, which I know. Okay. Wait, hear me out. Yeah, this game is very different from the console counterpart in a way. It is technically Sonic Rush 4.
Oh, okay.
So it's the same gameplay as Sonic Rush, but you have the wisps instead. And
I see.
People like. Whenever people look at this game, they're just like they shrug it off a little bit because they're like, oh, Sonic Colors, like. I don't know how good it could be on the DS, but it's actually a really, really, really tight platformer. Like a really good boost 2D Sonic game. So
yeah,
very happy to pick it up. I got Monster Hunter Wilds, of course. Fuck. Sorry.
So excited. He's so excited for Monster Hunter Wilds.
And I got
the Banjo and Kazooie Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing.
But it doesn't work. Yeah.
What a bummer.
That's the thing with Xbox games. As soon as there's one little scratch, doesn't really work. It does that with Xbox One games too. So
and here we were hyping up.
Yeah. But no, not the OG Xbox, just the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. I don't know why they have just really bad problems with scratches. And yeah, so I've been I bought it at a store. I resurfaced it once. It still doesn't work. I suspect though that my 360 has some troubles reading some discs. So I might try it on another 360.
Yeah, because you were having trouble with Shadow the Hedgehog too, right?
At some point. And my copy of Sonic 06 on 360 still doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Sonic 06, whoa.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't work on purpose.
Yeah, no, because I wanted to stream it once and it just didn't work, so I was like...
I would like to watch that.
Yeah, because it's so janky and it's so funny, and I'm kind of I'm getting known as the Sonic. No, I'm joking, but like I stream a lot of Sonic guy, Sonic thing. I stream a lot of Sonic content. I love Sonic, to be honest. So but yeah, so that's pretty much it for my pickups. How about you? What was your?
Okay, so this is a whole story. So.
The whole story. Okay.
I've been going a little crazy.
Eh?
Recently to really fill out my shelf because I also got a new shelf coming for the new place and I really want to fill it up.
You want the Benduzo guarantee?
I want the Benduzo experience. Yeah. So, I've been doing two things. So I have quite a few loose games that I picked up, like just regular Switch games that I picked up. More on the way. But I've also had this really big fascination recently with big box, deluxe, or day one edition Switch games.
Okay.
Because I like seeing the big box and how they've done it.
Yeah.
Recently, I think I've picked up about 12 of them.
What? Well, you should do a YouTube video about it. Jesus.
So I have far too many to go over today. But I'm gonna spread them out over our episodes because it's gotten
crazy.
Out of hand.
Yeah,
I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things. Yeah, it went a little nuts, but these are really cool, man.
These are really cool.
Yeah, so I'll start with some loose ones and I'll talk about a couple of special editions and we'll work through them throughout the year. So. First, I got 2 games. These are indie titles. One you suggested I try because you were going to get into it, and another one, a friend of the show, Rogan Likes Games. Check him out. He does indie stuff.
Yeah.
On TikTok, he suggested
really good. One
stuff, of the games, really good stuff. Friend of the show.
Yeah.
So I got Slay the Spire. Ooh. This is the game that he suggested to me.
Yeah, he suggested anyone to visit. Yeah.
Yeah. I know about it. I've always wanted to try it. Finally, a physical copy was brought back on VGP because they weren't available for a while and they were going for like $70.
Yeah, they were going for a lot of money, yeah.
And I didn't really want to spend that much. Of course. And this was on sale for like $29.99 when they restocked. So I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
Can't wait to try this. Slay the Spire 2 is set to come out soon in beta. Yeah. So really excited to try this. Yeah. And the other one, the one that you said
I saw it.
It's Amori.
Yeah.
This game, when it comes to the prints, I do notice that they go and then they're restocked and then they're gone really quickly.
Gone. They're sold out, especially the Switch version. That's where people go crazy about this one. And it's not available on Xbox anymore, the digital stores.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is I call them it's an Earthbound like. That's Earthbound, Undertale. There's this new one coming out soon that also has like an Earthbound-y vibe. I know they're not all based on Earthbound, but a lot of them have that feel. And this is kind of one of those games. And but I'm curious about it.
Really, really good game. Like I haven't played it yet. I spoiled myself because I have 0 time in life, so I can't really afford to play a game on my I don't have time to play video games these days without streaming. And so yeah, I watched, I don't know if you know Nitro Rad on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I love Nitro Rad.
I love the guy. Like
Canadian legend.
Yeah, I've been watching him since I'm like 12, 13. So more than 10 years now. I don't know. I might be exaggerating here, but like I remember watching him like very young, and yeah, one of his video popped up recently. It's like a video from 4 years ago, and I just watched it all the way through, and I love how he explain things. He's
really good at breaking
things down. He's a film major. It's apparent.
Yeah.
Like he's really good with shots. He's really good with scripts. He's really good with like how he expresses himself. He knows the word. Like he's really good. He's really good.
He's really good. Yeah.
Man, I just devoured this video. Like it felt like it was like 2 minutes, and his video was like 40-50 minutes long. So like
yeah.
It was so good, and the twist is really good about the game. Like really, it's not what you expect. Like you expect, like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen. Okay, no, it's different. Like it's really good. It's really, really good. So I might take the time to play it because I think it's gonna be a really good game.
It got suggested a ton. I got to give it a try. There's this guy on TikTok who's fantastic. I think his name is. I want to say it's Char. I gotta find him again. Yeah. But he was doing his top. Charge, yeah. He was doing his like top 100 games of all time.
He said it was his first
number one.
Yeah.
So,
and I honestly, I respect him. The guy, like, I look at him with high regards in a way. Like his content is amazing. His editing is on par. Like he's a very, very good content creator. Honestly, and he's so young. He's like what, 17, 18?
Yeah, like really young.
It's like crazy. It's like crazy how good he is. Like he has a bright future ahead of him. That's for sure.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Yeah.
So those are a couple regular Switch games I got. I got even more, but I'll spread out. But let's get to some big box. We'll do two.
The big box.
This one was
PC game.
Big box, yeah. So this is Hero Land. This one was pretty cheap on VGP. That's a lot of these games. The big box ones I got were cheap because what happens with a lot of these games, and I think I didn't realize how many games get like a day one edition or deluxe edition. A ton of them get it. Get it.
But a lot of these games are. No, actually, no. You're right because we just got E's Memoirs of Felgana, whatever, which was a day one special edition. There was E Stand that had a special. Yeah. And like, no, you're right. There's like Cuisinier that got a day one edition recently.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, a lot of these games could be lesser known, so they sit on the shelf for a long time or in warehouses. You know, especially for VGP or PMP games. You know, these Canadian video game
brands,
you know, distributors, right? So they have to mark them down heavy because, like, first off, the big boxes take up room, you know, more than your standard Switch game, so they gotta sell them. So this one was $25. It's called Hero Land. It is like a basic, goofy RPG. You can see the art, very
I know it is. I have
PC related.
It's
silly,
and it's one. But honestly, it's one of the games that might get. Accumulate value over time because people there might be one TikToker who's like, oh yo, play this game, is so good in like 10 years and people are gonna go crazy for it. So you know, you never know.
So this was a nice pickup. Unfortunately, I think it's now gone on VGP, so I might have snagged one of the last copies, but
that's cool. VGP are really always the best, man. They're always the best.
And the other one for today we got is Lunar Lander Beyond. This is another big one. This one was also pretty cheap. It's hefty. This is definitely got a steel box.
Heavy.
It is heavy. It's got a steel book for sure in it. This is just a modern take on Lunar Lander from Atari. The spaceship is jutted out from the box, so that's premium box. Same thing. This one was really cheap. There may still be copies left available. I think it was like $20.
Yeah,
it's tough for you to take a look. No, take a look. It's really cool. It's a really nice done. And like just in comparison, so like this is Amori and this is, you know.
They're like they're fatter in a way. They're hefty. Now I have a couple of them
the big box
one, like, in my collection.
Hero Land. Like
so smaller. Big, Yeah, but they're all different sizes. That's what I like. They're like never the same size. That's the thing. That's really cool.
Some of them are sideways. Some of them are horizontal. That was one of the things too I noticed.
I have one here, which is, to be fair, it's a limited run. there has been a lot of copies made outside of limited run, but it's Streets of Rage 4.
Oh, the Streets of Rage 4, yeah, same thing, yeah.
It's meant to be a Genesis box.
Genesis box, very cool.
So
that's why these things pique my interest, man. Yeah. They're gonna look great on the shelf, and they look like funky.
Yeah, and I have like 4 physical copies of Streets of Rage because they've done like multiple runs, and they've done one with like all the DLCs and like But this one I'm never gonna open because I don't know, it just looks cool.
No. A lot of these I probably won't open as well unless I'm super tempted, but.
Or there might be like $2 digitally one day, you know?
Yeah.
So you might just pick up. You double dip at this point, in my opinion.
Yeah. Hero Land, I think, is like $3 or $4, right?
Yeah,
like
it's nothing.
So, but you get the cool box. So those are a couple. I got, like I said, quite a bit more to go through. So we're gonna go through a bunch throughout the pod.
Honestly, me and my friends sometimes what we do is like after the end of the month when VGP has all of their sales. We just end up picking like 10 games each because they're so cheap. That's how I got my copy of Amori on PS4. It was like what, $15, $20? It was like very cheap. Like all of it. Like I have a video coming out like in 2 days, which is my pickups for the past 3 months, and like more than half of them are VGP pickups.
Oh yeah,
and I have like more than 25 games.
I always go on there every second or third day, and I just go into the sales section,
just look
in stock, Switch, PS5, and I just go like it's
not the glaze.
You can find some great stuff.
Yeah, but it's not the glaze VGP so much. But since it's a Canadian retailer, it's a Canadian distributor. For us, it's very rare to get video games at that prices. That price online without crazy shipping. That's the thing. Because whenever like I order for limited run games, it's like $34 US shipping.
Oh yeah, it's expensive.
It's super expensive. And now VGP are the official Canadian retailer of limited run. So every limited run games I'm getting from there now. I'm getting the Okami remaster and the Onimusha, and I'm getting I'm getting Clock Tower, I'm getting Felix the Cat, Rocket Knight Adventure. Like I'm getting a lot of games from there.
Rocket Knight Adventure will be cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool.
That's a Genesis classic.
There,
for sure.
And there's like So now I'm very happy that VGP exists. Like it saves us.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
So yeah, those are some of the pickups that I had. I got way more to go, so we'll have a long haul to go through everything that I've picked up, but it'll be fun to go through the big box stuff. So yeah, we're gonna move on to our No Continues news roundup. We got a couple big things. One thing we're gonna start with quick. I didn't mark it on our rundown, but I still wanted to go over it. Was the PlayStation Plus free games for the month, because there was a big shocker. If you don't know, PlayStation Plus is the online service. It's a subscription every month. That's so you can play games online and access PlayStation's online servers. You get 3 free games a month. So for $10, it's not the worst deal in the world. No, and there was definitely a big shock because the 3 games were Sonic Colors Ultimate. Right, perfect.
You gotta love Sonic.
You gotta love Sonic. TMNT, the Cowabunga collection, which is a collection of TMNT games. It is really good. I have it for Switch.
Good
it's
games.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But you notice these games are like 2 or 3 years old. Yeah. Right? And the big surprise was Dragon Age the Veilguard was the third game.
Which came out what?
And that just came out on Halloween of 2024. Not even 6 months later. So people were definitely surprised because obviously that means unfortunately this game did not sell well probably. So they had to cut a deal with Sony, to get some extra cash so that it could be the free game for the month. And I would say that's probably it, unfortunately, for Dragon Age for quite a while, I think.
Yes.
I claimed it. This game is, I don't know, man. I think certain people gave this game a narrative that was not fully needed. I don't know. I don't like getting into that part of the internet.
No, I know. I know.
I just think this game probably just wasn't what Dragon Age fans wanted.
But it's just because I think Dragon Age fans are not the most open-minded people in the world.
I don't think so, no.
And Dragon Age tried to be more open-minded, which did not went with the general consensus of fans of the game. I'm not saying we're not saying like we're not taking side, we're not being like I'm just explaining the situation that what happened is there was a lot of controversy over on the game.
Yeah.
And I've had
even graphically, I saw a bunch of comments because they're like, it looks like Fortnite, and I was like, you know, even down to the graphics, right? Like, it's just you rarely see games go to PlayStation Plus that early.
No, exactly.
And when that happens, you know it's not a great sign. So, yeah, unfortunate, but yeah, it definitely seems like probably not going to see Dragon Age for a while.
No, I'm pretty sure the franchise is dead now, unfortunately.
And so I'm gonna try it though.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. Honestly,
you know, it was free
for me. All of that stuff doesn't bother me at all. Like I don't care. I'm gonna play it. I'm probably gonna enjoy it because the gameplay doesn't look that bad.
Yeah, I thought gameplay wise it looked okay. Like
So I'm like,
I
don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out. But to continue on the fun third AAA companies and how great they are, let's talk about Warner Brothers, because this was really annoying, and I think a lot of people were like pretty furious about this. And that is Warner Brothers announced that they were closing some studios, including Monolith, who created such games like the Lord of the Rings Middle-earth series. They were also developing a Wonder Woman game that has now been canceled. They also advised Warner Brothers Games president that he should step down, and he did. So it's crazy out there right now, especially when you consider Warner Brothers and their franchises like Harry Potter, Batman, Lord of the Rings, Mortal Kombat. That's technically under Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers,
what a failure, man. They have just completely failed over the past 5 to 7 years. It's just crazy. They used to be, when you think like the 2010s, you think of the Batman Arkham games
series,
you know, the Middle Earth, like Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War.
The Mortal Kombat
was getting going again. Like Mortal Kombat X was such a big success.
Yeah.
And they've just thrown it all away for trying to make live service games like Multiverses we talked about, like Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League was turned into a live service game, and that was shut down.
Yeah.
Just, it's crazy. It's so insane to think like people that run these companies that are worth billions, are just so out of touch, and they don't understand video games. They just don't understand it all, and they can't run a company like this.
They want to please their investors. That's what it is. Investors sees money in live service games. They see Fortnite. They're like, okay.
Yeah, they want a Fortnite. Yeah,
they want a Fortnite. Like, I'm pretty disappointed
Suicide
because
Squad to Fortnite.
Yeah,
turn it into a Fortnite.
Exactly, and like, I understand that the DC IPs like Wonder Woman, Batman,
Superman,
Harley Quinn, Joker, they're really popular ones, but they're more. You have to understand that Fortnite is most likely for kids. Like, unfortunately, most of the player base is kids that plays it. We play it together. We play it with our our partner. That doesn't. But still, when you're trying to do a Fortnite like game with Batman IPs, that's, I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't fit. Like,
no, it doesn't at all.
People that are going to play Batman or Kill the Justice League are probably like 30, 35 years old because they grew up with Batman Arkham series, and then they just want to play the sequel, which is technically the sequel of Batman Arkham, the Arkham series.
There's this whole controversy behind that even. Like,
because turns out it's just whatever. It's
just, you know,
and Gotham Knights 2 was so bad. bad, so much missed potential. Like it.
Well, and funny enough, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was a PlayStation Plus free game, I think in December. So like not even a year after it came out. So there you go, same thing there too.
Same thing there here. And honestly, I'm not even surprised that Wonder Woman got canceled because first of all, I know people wanted to look interested in the game, but nobody was really interested. I wasn't.
Yeah, personally, not me neither.
Like, not a big fan of Wonder Woman. I'm not a big fan of DC as a whole. I like Batman and The Flash, and that's it. And even then, it's pushing it because I think their universe is a little bit boring, in my opinion. And even Marvel. Now, I'm a little bit too old to like enjoy a lot of superhero stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know that when it got announced, I was just like, okay, next. Like it was
to me, my big thing is like they should have done Superman. You know, like if you ran out of ideas with Batman, it's like Superman should have been the next try, right? Like flying, combat, literally anything. The main thing is like all these games that saw success for Warner Brothers, like Shadow of Mordor, like Arkham City, heck, even Hogwarts Legacy. These are all single player games.
Yeah.
Right? These are all single player story focused games. So condense your budget, make it work, and just release that. I don't know. I don't get why missing out. I get it. You want a Fortnite, but it's too late. Those ships have sailed. There's not going to be another Fortnite. There's not going to be another Warzone. Unfortunately, those markets are taken up already.
And you had to be there in 2016 or 2015.
Yeah, you had to be there.
You have to be there at the beginning. Like you can't just try. Like so many companies right now are trying to do live service game, and it never works. It always Honestly, Marvel Rivals is doing really great right now, but still, they fired
such an exception though.
They fired their entire team for no reason.
Yeah,
no reason. It's pretty stupid, but still, this game is an exception because that's the thing too. It's actually a good game. I'm not a big fan of Marvel Rivals, to be honest, but it is objectively a good hero shooter. So that's the thing. Like, the Justice League.
But these things don't happen that right to burst into the live service sphere.
No, it's once in a blue moon.
Exactly. It's being taken up by essentially 5 or 6 big properties, right?
Yeah.
You think of Call of Duty Warzone, you think of Fortnite, you think of Marvel Rivals, and then you kind of get to some smaller stuff like, okay, Overwatch is still kind of big, Destiny 2 is kind of big still. After that,
but they were there in 2016. That's the thing.
They were all there already.
They have a
well established.
Exactly. They have a fan base that have been playing those games for like more than 10 years. So now, like, it's hard to kill those games. Like, I remember playing Paladins a lot, which is an Overwatch clone.
I remember Paladins, yeah.
And it was free. That's why I was playing it. And it is still to this day alive. Like Smite, it is still to this day alive. But I think they just announced that they're going to shut down Paladins and Realm Royale and all of their live service games to just focus on Smite because it doesn't do a lot of money. Which, honestly, I'm pretty disappointed because I had a lot of fun with Paladins. But still, I understand. Like, there are so many competitors now that nobody plays your games anymore. It's normal. Yeah. Like, the only selling point that Paladins had was that it was free, So, and now, like, Overwatch is free. Everything is free. So, like, I don't know.
It's tough to compete.
Yeah, it's tough to survive in that market, unfortunately.
Yeah. But yeah, no shock. Of course, Warner Brothers don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of AAA companies don't know what they're doing these days. So we'll see how the year goes, see what Warner Brothers does. But it doesn't look great.
Doesn't look great.
Look great. No one asked for multiverses after 2 years it was gone, right? So
exactly.
Tough to go. But all right, let's get to the big thing, obviously, that we've been waiting for. That being the Pokémon Presents. A lot of mixed reception online, and I think I don't know if it's fully justified in certain aspects. Pokemon Presents have never been that big, ever.
They've never been good, in my opinion. They've never been good ever.
Yeah.
There's not a single Pokemon Present that has been good.
So you were like, whoa, yeah.
Having high expectation for Pokemon Present is like, I don't know. I don't know what you expect.
I think it stems from the desperation of wanting some Nintendo news, because
yes,
we've been pretty dry for the past, for pretty much since December.
Yeah.
Yes, we got the reveal of the Switch 2 in January, but that's it.
And now the leaks have been going down and down. Nobody leaks anything anymore. It's very a dead subject for now, because yeah.
So people, I think, were putting so much stock into this Pokemon Presents, being like, all right, here it is. This is our first big presentation, Nintendo related of the year. What do we got? Well, of course, we got the standard update stuff. So, the updates to Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Unite, the TCG Pockets, all the classics. You got
Pokemon
all that.
Cafe. We got an announcement for Pokemon Cafe.
Is still
which
alive.
Who plays this?
Apparently enough that there's still an update. Yeah. To Pokemon's credit, they kind of pushed that along pretty quickly.
Yes.
I didn't spend too much time watching those updates. So they moved along through that pretty quickly. The presentation was 20 minutes, and they only spent about 6 or 7 on those mobile app updates. So we got to the 2 big announcements. Let's start with the first one, that being Pokemon Champions. This was talked about. This was apparently like a rumor from that big Pokemon leak that happened sometime in the fall of 2024. This is a game that you can download on your phone and your Nintendo Switch family of systems. Family of systems.
Right? Nintendo Labo included.
Nintendo Labo included, yep. So funny how these things kind of correlate. Ben was talking a couple weeks ago how he did not enjoy that much Pokemon Battle Revolution for Wii. So the Pokemon company said, perfect, let's make that an online game. So
I was so disappointed. Oh my god, man.
So we didn't have a ton to go off of. Yeah. They really didn't show anything. This was like just an announcement. But essentially this game is going to be like Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Battle Revolution, Pokemon Coliseum. It sounds like you'll be able to rent Pokemon and battle against other people.
But
just battle.
Yeah.
Just battle.
What excites me, though, I'm going to say it. What excites me is...
something excites you. Okay.
Yes. As you know, I've said it multiple times in the podcast, I am a big shiny hunter. Like, I love shiny Pokemons. And you can get Pokemons from Pokemon Home. And I have a lot of shiny Pokemons there. So
it's true.
I might just drip out, like, pull out my shiny Dragonite, eradicate all of my opponents.
Trippy and champions.
Yeah, exactly. Watch out, guys. Watch out. I'm gonna be there with my shiny Dragonite, kicking ass.
They did make a point of saying that in that little spot. They said that Pokemon Champions will be linked to Pokemon Home, so you can bring your own Pokemon in from the other games as well.
It's all about the flex. It's all about
the flex. All about the shiny hunting flex.
I'll drip out. Yo, what's up?
So they really didn't show much of this at all. It was pretty much just an announcement that this was coming. So I don't even know if it's coming out this year. It didn't really seem like it was ready for winter.
They said nothing, basically.
No, but this was one of the big things. So just wait, just be patient. You'll become a champion.
Very patient.
Real soon.
Yeah, very patient. It's gonna be amazing.
But of course, it'll be.
But realistically, I'm gonna say, who's excited for this? Are you excited, Juice?
I am gonna try it. My only thing that I'm confused about is, a lot of these games like Pokemon Unite, the TCG Pocket, like I can kind of see how you can monetize that, like with skins and card packs. I'm just confused how you monetize something like Pokemon this. Stadium. Like how's that gonna work?
Maybe. Oh yeah. Maybe with like themes or like...
Yeah, like where does the money come in? Or like, are there packs where you can get different Pokemon to be on your team? Like, maybe, that has been the thing that has been confusing me. Like, I'll probably try it.
Because they're going to try to monetize it, that's for sure. They did this with Unite with skins and everything. Okay, they might do skins, but like it can get transferred into your newer generations of Pokemon games. That could be something.
That could be cool.
That could be cool because they've done like, if you remember on the 3DS games, there was like a fashion show with Pikachu, and then in the other ones there was like a fashion show with multiple Pokemons. If I remember correctly, please, Pokemon fans, do not crucify me in the comments. I love Pokemons, but not that much. Okay, so there might be like a thing like that where you have like a fashion show, because we're going back to Kalos and it got introduced into Omega Ruby and Sapphire, and I think in Kalos with the fashion show. So maybe we're gonna have like a fashion show type thing where whatever you buy in Champions, it gets transferred to Pokemon Home, and then it, because Pokemons are always known to do stupid stuff like that, and we know people are gonna buy it. Like we know, hardcore Pokemon fans are gonna be like, "Yo, I want my Pikachu with a bow and a Muchador," you know. So we'll buy the $20 for that skin. So yeah, that might be a possibility. I don't know. But that's the thing. I can't really see people getting excited for the for this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I need to see how this works. I'll try it, but when it comes to Pokemon battling, it's essentially just rock, paper, scissors, and I don't know how far this will go. But
look, I love
Pokemon
rock, paper, scissors, but and it's funny to me because Pokemon fans are usually so overly critical about other things, but when it comes to Pokemon, I feel like they're blind. They're like this. Oh yeah, that looks really good. That looks really good. I'm very happy. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna spend 20 hours and buy 3 copies because I want different Like, yeah,
I'm with you. So that was one of the announcements. But of course, the other thing that they were showing off was Pokemon Legends ZA. They were showing it off for the first time. I was streaming my reaction. A lot of mixed people in my chat. It was kind of crazy. My chat was bumping, and I hadn't streamed in a hot minute up until that point. I think many people, myself included, came away with this thought that gameplay-wise, it looks pretty cool. It actually looks like they've improved the combat. It looks like there's some strategy involved. The gameplay looks like it's going to be pretty cool. Graphically, I was not overly thrilled with how it looked.
Same.
So, what did you think on first view? Do you have the same feeling as me, where you're like, looks like gameplay's improved, but the graphics, or was it even harsher?
I was very impressed with the new battle mechanics because I've said it previously in the podcast, but for me, Pokemon games are more for shiny hunting than anything else. I do not enjoy Pokemon battles anymore. I do not really enjoy the story. I do not like, the only thing that keeps me going is getting like that little bang and getting the Pokemon, you know. So that's pretty much it. But seeing that the combat mechanics are improved and are different, you have to basically be aware of the attacks in a way, like as a player,
you have to move around,
which is really cool, because that's what I always didn't understand about Pokemon. Is you have like basically nuclear weapons in front of you, and people are just living with them. Whenever there's trouble, they're throwing big ass fires into stuff. Like, there must be some casualties in some way possible. Like, there's no way. And now it kind of introduces that in the game, which I find it really clever for a gameplay not a gameplay perspective, for a like a lore perspective in a way. Like, and as a gameplay perspective too, because like it's gonna like add another depth to the combat. So that I was very, very excited about. And it looks like a GameCube game. Like, it looks like a blurry GameCube game. It doesn't even look as good as a GameCube game. That's what disappoints me. Like, and I've seen a podcast talking about this, but like, basically what they were saying is like, Game Freaks are such bad developers. They're really, really stubborn and bad developers. And they're right. Like, we've seen it with Scarlet and Violet. It is such a badly developed game. And I know it was rushed. I know they did it in the shortest amount of time possible, and they released a product like that. But I don't know. Like, bro, you're working on a Switch. Like, you're gonna be working on a Switch too, and it looks worse than the GameCube. Like, it's unacceptable in my opinion. I don't know. That's how I feel like.
Yeah, I would even say, first quickly to the gameplay point, I did appreciate how, like, you know, there's movement, so you can move to essentially dodge moves. You also have to take into account animations.
Yeah.
Like, some Pokemon have to like charge up the attack.
Yeah.
So it gives you a chance to make an attack move. So there's like all sorts of things in the gameplay perspective that I thought looked really interesting. But yeah, it's hard to not disagree that graphically it just didn't impress. And I thought, like, personally, like, I thought Legends Arceus looked much better.
Yes.
Artistically.
Yes.
Like, I thought that game actually looked pretty nice.
And it still looked like a GameCube game, but it didn't bother me as much as this one. This feels like just
because
lazy.
It's more of an artistic choice.
Yeah.
It felt like there, right? Like they had more like cartoony features. It feels like this game graphically is going for the more realistic, like Scarlet and Violet look.
Yeah.
And I don't think it works.
No, it doesn't work. It's curious. I'm curious to see how it will look like on the Switch too. But yeah, art direction is a big thing in video games, in my opinion. And I feel like the art direction is just very poor in a way. There's nothing driving this game to be like, oh, like I see. How can I say this? Like, I'm gonna take Wind Waker for an example. Wind Waker on the GameCube looked amazing. People were being babies about it. We all know the story. They were like, "Oh, it doesn't look mature enough." So people were being babies about it and everything. But even though it looked really great on the GameCube, if you go back right now on the GameCube version, it looks kind of rough. It's normal. It's like a 20-year-old game, but what they essentially did on the Wii U is they just upgraded not the graphics, but they upgraded the lighting. Upgrading, they practically did nothing in a way, and it looks amazing. And even to this day, it still looks amazing. So Arceus, like you said, with a little polish on it, it can look timeless in a way. But I feel like Legends ZA, the art direction is not there at all. Yeah. It will never look good, even though there's a fresh coat of paint. Like, no, it's the art direction that is missing, in my opinion. But and I mean, it just brings up the big discussion. It seems to happen every few years where it's, does graphics, do they matter? And I think that the simple answer is no, but sometimes they're appreciated. Yeah. Like you think about, the indie scene and what they do. A lot of times when they do 8-bit art, 16-bit, or even, a lot of companies, a lot of indie developers are doing like PS1/N64 graphics. They're done artistically. That's an artistic choice that's being done. And I know that I don't need 4K graphics to come out of that. So I like them to look good. But I also really like games that do look really nice. I really like God of War. I really like, I'm watching you play Monster Hunter Wilds on stream. That game looks amazing. Yeah. So I don't need every game to look that way. I think it's just tough when you see a company that has such a big property like Pokemon. I would just like it to look better. And the thing is, like, like even Nintendo on the Switch have made some of the most beautiful games we've ever seen. Like, I loved, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom look fantastic. Pikmin 4 looks so incredible. Pretty. But that's the
thing. Metroid
it's
Prime Remastered, right?
Art direction. That's the thing.
Exactly.
It is art direction. The thing is with Metroid Prime, though, they wanted to go for a more realistic look, but they still kept their Nintendo touch to it in a way. Yeah. I know it's Retro Studios that did it, but they still, like, that's the thing. Like I feel like Pokemon, that's why I'm saying like Pokemon are such bad developers, because they don't care. They know people are gonna buy their games even though they sell you crap. Like they could sell you a white box saying Pokemon whatever and you have 3 Pokemons and you're gonna buy it still. Like it's becoming to a point where they can allow themselves to be lazy and just focus on their mobile games or focus on the TCG Player app, which I really enjoy, but I still love Pokemon. I still want a
Same.
a single player game where I can play pseudo multiplayer with other people, trade Pokemons. Like I still want that experience out of Pokemon. I feel like they're shifting towards just mobile games, which I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm with you. I just think, graphics aren't everything.
Exactly.
But I think just in the case of Pokemon, like you just expect more, right?
You
like,
expect the Nintendo seal of quality, I think.
Yeah.
But that I heard Kid and Krista talking about it, and they said basically like Nintendo owns Game Freak, but not really.
No, they only own a third of the Pokemon company. It's split up between 3.
Yeah.
And I think I watched the video you're talking about, and it was their professional opinion. They said that Nintendo has most likely offered help to Pokemon, saying we can help you with game development if needed. But Pokemon has probably said no because they feel like they're grown up enough to be able to do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a stubbornness, right? And the thing is, Nintendo can't forcibly say, no, we're taking over, right?
But,
that's just not how it works, right?
That's where my point... That's where I think it's tricky, because Nintendo will do that with other companies because they have the biggest part of the stick, They know they can do that because, or else they're just going to be like, okay, so don't publish in my platform. But I think what happens is with Pokemon, they have the biggest part of the stick than Nintendo. So if they decide to just be like, okay, well, I'll just release my games to other platform, they technically can. That's the thing.
Exactly.
So that's why Nintendo are very peculiar with like being, okay, yes, we'll let you do whatever you want, Because I don't want you to publish on Xbox or on PS5 because it'll kill the brand.
There's only so much they can push, unfortunately, right? So they're not exactly in a position of being like, it has to be better. It sounds like they've had the conversation.
Yes.
Especially because, Nintendo has found themselves at the top of the food chain again. It's not like at the Wii U days, right? They're back at the top with PlayStation and all the big boys.
Yes.
So they definitely do have a voice now where they can say, look, these have to be better, right? Like, just...
You have to take your time.
Well, yeah. But besides them being firm with that, there's not a ton they can do. So,
and I think too, we have to understand, like, if we take Scarlet and Violet, for example, there's not just the games that relies on the like it affects more things than we think. It affects Pokemon sets, the TCG
they're
sets.
all timed.
It affects the TV show. It affects multiple things. So I think
there's so many layers.
Yes.
To it, yeah.
So that I think that's why like Scarlet and Violet was so bad in a way, so badly optimized.
It does
and everything.
Feel like just a rushed thing.
Yeah, because they didn't have a choice in a way, but they could have easily fixed it after release. Like. It should have been fixed right now. It should not be so badly optimized right now. And it's still they released 2 expansion. They did nothing for the base game.
Yeah.
Which is that's why I'm saying like they're lazy. They don't care. They're like, "Oh, it's out. We sold 15 million copies in 2 days."
Yeah.
Like
that's crazy.
That's 15 million in 2 days. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like so
the Pokemon Presents, it was about as good as we thought it was going to be, I guess. That classic collection was non-existent, at least for now. Next year is the 30th anniversary, so if there was ever a time to release it,
That
maybe
would
next
be
year.
the time, but still,
But
I'm very no, I
too
don't
good to be
believe it.
true. It felt it was too good to
Honestly,
be true.
what I think is gonna happen is one day they'll just release one game on NSO on a Tuesday afternoon. They're gonna be like, oh, by the way, Pokemon Yellow is available. And people are like, oh shit, what the, like that's such a big deal, but they're just gonna do it like on a random Tuesday afternoon. Like that's the Nintendo way, that's the Game Freak way in a way. So I don't know.
We'll see. I think Pokemon thinks that they're too good for NSO.
Yeah.
At least the base
absolutely.
games.
That's true.
The pinball games can be on NSO.
Oh yeah.
If you want Pokemon pinball,
the TCG game, it can be
the TCG game.
Even though it's a really, really good game.
It is a really good game. It is a good game.
They're like, oh, this, it's okay. But I think again, I think it's more complicated than that, because if it's on NSO, they have to implement a Pokemon Home patch, and I think they're just lazy. So
they wouldn't do that. So.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that. Not for now, especially not for now.
So how many booms out of 5 do you give the Pokemon Presents? How many booms?
I would say 2 booms.
I was also gonna say 2 booms. That gets two moderate booms.
It's just like
boom, boom,
boom, boom. Someone passed away, just like
sorry about that. Yeah, I think people just put far too much stock into Pokemon, especially this go around, because this is the first Nintendo thing pretty much all year that people have been waiting for.
But it might hint on a potential Switch 2 release, because they said it was going to come out by end of year.
Family of systems.
And that suggests that it might be a launch title for the Switch 2. We don't know. They've been very vague about the date. So
it said late 2025. Yeah. I don't think it's going to come out at launch, personally. I think it's going to be November.
Maybe.
I just don't really care that much right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just the ZA doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't excite you that much. Yeah.
I have to see a bit more, but yeah, that was the Pokemon Presents. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry it was what it was, but hopefully we have some fun things in store. But let's get to revisiting retro. This is a portion of No Continues. Ben and I, we look back at something retro. Usually it's an old video game, but sometimes we'll be taking a look at media. We'll be looking at TV shows, cartoons, comics, all that kind of fun stuff. And today we got a game. It's because I was really excited to play it. This was going to be my first time playing through it. We are taking a look at Wario Land 4 for the Game Boy Advanced. Ben, have you played this prior to this?
Yes. I got my copy right here.
Right there.
It is a very beat up copy, to be honest. Like, it's very, very beat up. But I honestly, fun story about this copy. I paid it a very cheap. I think I paid it like $3, and back then it was a more expensive game than it is today. It got down in price over the years for some reason. I don't know why, but
that's weird. Yeah, I feel like it would go up. Yeah.
Yeah. I played it before. I've completed it before. I absolutely love this game. For me, it's a return to form. I'm gonna talk about my favorite video. Like, we have a question of the show, and it's in ties with that, honest in a way. But what I will say is, it is a return to form to the Wario Land series, in my opinion. 2 and 3 was, for me, a little bit too puzzle platformy, in my opinion.
Sure, yeah.
Especially the third one. The third one for me, I can't finish it. It's too tedious. There's so many like transformation that puts you back in the beginning of the stage, and it's just trial and error. I just don't really like that style of game. I think Wario Land 2 is the perfect balance between the two genres, in a way.
Like level and exploration.
It removed the lives system.
Yeah.
But because in Wario Land 1 you had lives, it was more like the Mario Land series,
Yeah.
It was just a continuation of it, but it was it was slower in a way, which I really enjoyed. And Wario Land 3 is kind of a mix of both. It's like you have transformations, you have puzzle platforming, and you have a live systems, and you kind of have like a time trial system at the end of each stage, which at first I didn't like because I don't like to be stressed in my video games. For some reason I just don't understand. I like when I play video games, I just like to be cozy.
Except Majora's Mask.
Except Majora's Mask, yes. But I've grown to enjoy it. For my first playthrough, I really like at first I didn't like it at all, and the more and more I would play the game, the more and more I would look forward to the little like speed run section at the end of the levels, because it's like everything you know about the level, you have to do it super fast to go back
in reverse,
and you have some collectibles. You have some like collectibles to get at the same time, so it's not just like a straight line, you know. Sometimes you have like hidden paths that you have to get in order to finish the level and progress, because I'm gonna explain a little bit the game, but you need to get 4 gems in order to progress a level, you know. It opens a door in a way. So, and if you don't get the 4 gems, then you can't progress, and sometimes 1 or 2 gems are in the speedrun section. It's not very it's not very speedrun heavy. Like, you have some time, but still you can't take forever to find them, and that's where the stress factor comes in. So yeah, I grew to enjoy it a lot, and replaying it, of course, like it's just, I've replayed it recently on stream, and I've replayed it for this, and it's just such a good game. It's goofy, good music. The music is so good in this game, especially the intro music. Really, really good. I don't know, it's a fun game. It's just a fun game. Like, for me, it's a mix of both genres in a way. I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's too difficult too. The bosses can be very, very, very difficult though. Like, especially the first boss, the plant boss. Oh my god. Annoying. Annoying. And what's fun about this game is you can kind of do it your own way. You can do pretty much every stages whenever you want. I would still recommend going through the organic path in a way, because it's kind of, it's like it's a good scale of difficulty. Like, the more you advance, the more it gets difficult. But yeah, no, I've enjoyed it. I think for me, it's like a 10 out of 10 game, or 9 out of 10 game. It's a really, really, really good game. How about you?
Yeah, this is my first time playing it. I've always known about Wario Land 4. I never had it. I was a Game Boy Advance kid growing up, so any kind of, I'm always looking forward to going back to Game Boy Advance games throughout our revisiting retro, and this was a great time. Wario Land has always felt like they were ideas that weren't allowed to be in Mario, so they were like, well, let's put them with Wario, and it's super zany. Wario has more of a combat moveset. He has a bash, he has a head rush, he has a more destructive ground pound. He can pick things up and throw them. So there's definitely more of what you can do combat wise for Wario Land. And this game is really good looking. Like, when I go back to 2000s gaming, I always look at like 2000 to 2005 and then 2005 to 2010, because there's definitely a split. I always find that the 2000 to 2005 is very colorful. A lot of colors, right? Everything's eye-popping. From 2005 to 2010, that 360, that PS3 era, which I love.
That yellow,
but it is kind of
filter.
That yellow tint that you don't like. Everything became gritty. Everything became dark. Everything became edgy, which is fine. I like edgy games. But I think I look forward going back to the more eye-popping, more colorful games,
platform,
right?
Yeah, and I get it.
And this game just looks so good. It controls so good. Wario is very animated. He's very expressive. The enemies are out there. I like the exploration is just enough for me. Like, it's just enough to scratch that itch where I want to go off the beaten path, find the gems so I can open the door to get to the boss fight there. It's like just enough. It's not like out of the way. No. It's like just the right amount. They really nail it. The music's great. The sprite work is fantastic.
It's fantastic, yeah.
It's just so good. It is so really fun, good. And that is like the most important aspect, right? To going back to these older games is it still fun? And yeah, this is most definitely still fun. It's fantastic.
And like one of the greatest indie game that came out like 2 years ago or a year ago is Pizza Tower, and this game is inspired 100% by Wario Land 4, especially 4.
For sure.
Especially 4, because that's the same type of like kind of speedrunny aesthetics, gameplay, like kind of like platforming in a way, and like very expressive animations, very wacky things, you know. So and there's a new game that's called Anton Blast that came out recently too, that is 100% inspired by Wario Land 4. Again,
very much,
it inspired like one of the greatest indie games right now are inspired by Wario Land 4. It is a must play if you haven't played it. Like, like it's so good, and like that's what grew my love to Wario. That's why I always pick Wario and Mario Party. Because of the Wario Land series. It's one of my and the WarioWare series too. I'm a big fan, but like Wario games are so quirky, they're so fun, they're so expressive. You would not think that Wario is so expressive and so goofy, but he is. Like he is. He's, I don't know. There's so much to love about this game. I just think, it's a great franchise overall. I would definitely start with 4 and then go through the older games. As a starting point. I would
probably say the same too. Yeah. There's for the Wario Land. There's pretty much only like 5 games. There's the first 3 on Game Boy.
6 technically. There's
the one that I was thinking about is Wario Land Shake It on the Wii.
Yeah.
Is there another one that I'm not thinking of? Right. There's the first 3 on Game Boy. There's obviously this one that we're playing through, Wario Land 4. There's Wario Land Shake It on the Wii. And if you have not played Wario Land Shake It on Wii, please do. It's probably one of the best looking games on the Wii. It's unbelievable. Oh yeah, Wario Land Master of Disguise. This one's considered the bad one to most people.
It's not that bad. I haven't finished it yet, but it's not like entirely bad.
As bad as people make it out.
People were just disappointed. It's like people that say Kirby Squeak Squad is bad. I'm like, it's not bad. It's just another Kirby game. It came out like when you look at it with a with today's eyes as a standalone title, it is an excellent title. Excellent title. But if you look at it through your nostalgic lens, whenever like all of the Wario game came out and this came out, this might be a disappointment. But nowadays it's a good game. It's not a bad game. It's just for me it's in the same vein as Wario Land 3, which is more puzzle platformer. You can't die in the game, you know? It's more like you have to figure out what it is, and there's a lot of obstacle that makes you go back, you know. It's just annoying sometimes, which that's not my favorite part of Wario Land, but still.
So no, this game was fantastic. Definitely it's on the NSO expansion pass, so if you have Nintendo Switch online with the expansion pass, please play it. It's fantastic. It's unbelievable. They just announced, of course, they're putting DK94 on it. That's probably going to be the next one, I'll be honest. Because
oh man, I love this game so much.
Great game.
One of my favorite Game Boy game of all time. Oh man, so good.
So, how many booms do you give Wario Land 4?
I would say 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah,
it's almost perfection. It's almost perfect.
I'm at the 4.5 out of 5 booms as well. It's just really good Game Boy Advance goodness. It's what the Game Boy Advance was great for. Really fun platformers. Great sprite work. Definitely give it a try.
Yeah, give it a try.
Alrighty. Well, we're gonna move on now to the question of the show.
I'm excited.
This is where Ben and I, we each take turns asking each other questions, and we also want you to get involved. So feel free to DM us on TikTok at NoContinuesPod, asking us questions, and maybe one of your questions will get selected. Please also leave a comment on the YouTube pod as well, and maybe your question will be selected for our show. So it's my turn this week, and I wanted to stick with stick with Mario. All right.
Mario.
So Mario Day is coming up. That's March 10th. As of recording it, this is March 9th. So it's literally coming tomorrow.
Tomorrow is Mario Day, yeah.
And this year is the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. So in celebration, I wanted to know, Ben, what is your favorite Super Mario game? Could be any Mario game. I also wanted some honorable mentions for after, because I feel like you and I are Mario people. I think we know a lot about Mario.
I love Sonic, but I love Mario. Like, Mario is...
I love Mario.
I love Mario. So
I don't know if there's a series that I've spent more time in. I don't know if you feel the same way, but it's definitely hard to think of.
I would say Sonic is definitely my number one series that I spent the most time with, especially Sonic Adventure 2 or Sonic Mega Collection. But yes, Mario is the second most time spent on a video game series. I would say, no, it's my first, that's for sure, because you can qualify so many things as a Mario game that, I would say Mario first, Sonic second, but yes.
So, what is it? What is your favorite Mario game of all time?
So, for me, it's gonna be weird, and y'all probably gonna judge me, but it is what it is. My favorite Mario game of all time is Super Mario Land 2.
Ooh,
the 6 golden coins. Yes.
Fantastic game.
The reason why it is my favorite Mario game of all time is because it came... So back at... I don't know how to explain this. What's before high school? It's...
Like junior high.
Junior high, okay. During
like elementary school, or...
I was a very... not troubled kid, but I had trouble at home, you know.
He was angsty.
Yeah, I'm angsty, and... my gateway into out of anxiety and stuff was video games, and I had a Game Boy Advance SP, and one of my friend, one day we used to trade a lot of Game Boy games, because back then, like 20 years ago, I was like 7 years old, 8 years old, maybe 10 years old. Game Boy Advance was still relatively new, like it was new. So, and you could play Game Boy games on it, so a lot of people were just giving out their Game Boy games because they wanted to play their Game Boy Advance games, blah, blah, blah. So what happened is someone gave me a copy of Super Mario Land 2, which I had no idea what it was about. I thought at first it was a bootleg game, because it is so different than from, like, Mario games.
GBA games,
yeah, it's so different from Super Mario World, from Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3. Like, it's so quirky, different, and I was so obsessed with this game. I wanted to get all of the exits. I love the music, I love the graphics, I love the worlds, I love the stage designs too. I thought that for a Game Boy game, the stage designs were really clever, and the secret exits was really cool. I just love all the little micro worlds in the game. Like, there's 6 worlds inside the thing. I was obsessed with this game, and the obsession never really went away. I think I've played this game more than 30 times in my life span. I played it to completion, like a lot, because back then we didn't have internet, so I didn't know if I 100%ed the game in a way. So I would always go back to the stages to see if there was no hidden exit or other stuff. So no, it's a very special game for my childhood. Is like, it helped me get through a lot of stuff in a way, and I think I've played it throughout my entire life, like multiple times. It's always a game that I come back whenever I don't feel too great, or I feel anxious or anything. It just comes back, And recently I have a Miu Mini, which is a little portable console, and I've downloaded a patch that makes it color, like a DX version.
Yeah.
And it changed the experience. Like, it was night and day. Like, I loved the original game, but it was like, I don't know, man. Everything in color, like properly colored games, like
seeing everything.
It was such a nice experience. It was like reliving my childhood, but in with new lenses in a way. No, it's my favorite Mario game of all time. It's just it's hard to quantify. It was either that or Mario Odyssey, which is really two different games. Like Mario Odyssey is such a great game. It's just for me, like for nostalgia's sake, and even to this day, because I've replayed it I think 3 times this year, so last year. So I don't know, it's just always a game that I come back to, and I don't know, I just enjoy it a lot. Like it's my favorite Mario game of all time. It's just very important game for me. So yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I love Mario. He is easily the number one thing that I play the most. I am tied to the hip at Mario to many things. I would say he's definitely my favorite franchise by far. I play him easily the most. He doesn't hold the number one spot for my favorite game of all time, but if I were to make a top 10 games, he'd probably take up about 4 spots.
We have to have the obligatory thumbs up,
which is crazy.
Yeah,
because I think it just shows he has been the video game guy for 40 years, and he has never dipped in quality.
Yeah,
he has consistently been like always a 9 or a 10 out of 10 experience. It's crazy to me to think. So looking back, like I had like 20 games that I was thinking about, and it pretty much comes down to 2. That being, and it's probably my favorite, it's Super Mario Galaxy. I've replayed Galaxy probably a dozen times. It was a mind-blowing experience. Like it felt larger than life, right? What Super Mario 64 did for like people growing up in the 90s, Mario Galaxy like did for me. Where I'm just like, the world feels huge, the platforming feels amazing, the like orchestra is just like in my ears all the time. I love it. It's like it's just one of the greatest video games experiences ever. I got it in 2007. We got a Wii. A little bit later because they were hard to come by at the beginning. Like they were super difficult to come by. So we finally got a Wii, and we went to GameStop, and I got Wii Play with the extra Wii remote and Mario Galaxy. And the whole game, I was just like, this is the greatest thing I've ever played. And it felt like up to that point, even though that's probably not true, but it was like really close. It was just like, it was just such an amazing experience. And like I had played Mario Sunshine, I had played Mario 64, and I really enjoyed those. But this was like, it felt like a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And it was like my number one Mario game for so long. But Mario Odyssey has really been
good.
Attacking it recently. Because I've only played Mario Odyssey once, but it was just such an unbelievable experience. And it was one of those games that came around God of War 2018, where it was like right time, right place, and I needed the game more than it needed me. And that to me is the best controlling Mario
it will
3D
ever
game.
Be.
Mario has never controlled that good. I love Super Mario Sunshine. It's great, but Mario feels really hectic in that game, and he feels like almost out of control sometimes because he's moving so fast. But Mario Odyssey is like a perfect blend between Sunshine and Galaxy. Where he's moving quick, but I'm also able to do so much in his control. And personally, I think it looks better than Galaxy, which is saying something because they're both like
Galaxy even to this day, like
even to this day,
especially with the 3D All-Star, they didn't really do anything. They just ported it. They didn't touch the graphics, and it looks absolutely so amazing. It still looks to this day. It looks what I remember video game looking back then. You know what I mean? Like when you're a kid and you think, like certain
games look better than they did, but when you went back and played it, you were like, no, this is still like a grand experience.
But I feel the same way for you for Mario Odyssey. Like exactly the same way. It has been an experience for me where it it was a point in my life where I didn't really like video games anymore. I was just buying video games for the sake of like staying attached to my childhood. You know, I had something that I couldn't let go in a way. I didn't really enjoy video games anymore. I didn't really enjoy playing video games, but this game, when it came out, I was back like to my childhood. I like 10 years old playing a Mario game. The music, the graphics, the moons, just everything about this game is wonderful. It's just wonderful.
I won't spoil it, but the ending, when
so good,
and then after the ending, the final world, like post ending, it is like,
it
is.
If you haven't played it to this day,
it is incredible, and it feels like such a love letter to fans of Mario, being like, thanks for sticking with us for this whole time. I hope you like what we've done. And that last spot, you're like, this is crazy.
And there's so much to do in that spot too. Like, it's not like it's just it's not like it's just an arbitrary Mario game end level where it's just a little Easter egg, like being, hey, like the Yoshi in Super Mario 64, you know, where it's just cool to have, but doesn't even serve purpose, you know.
No, the ending is incredible. It's when that happened, because I had been pretty good about not going about spoilers, but I had heard that there was something crazy at the end, and I was like, well, it can't be that crazy. But then when it happened, I was like,
oh man,
wow, that's pretty nuts.
That's pretty nuts. And
this is really cool. Like,
especially the costume that you get in that world. Oh my god, it's so nice.
It's insane that they've done that. Like, this is such an experience. And I definitely want to play it this summer. That's going to be a summer game for me. I'm going to play through Odyssey again.
You should stream it.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I probably will, because it's so good. It's just an incredible game.
And what I liked about Odyssey too is I really like to have like versatility in my games. Like, the way I can customize my character the way I want, and they went so overboard with the costume that they
gave Mario costumes.
Yeah, they gave Mario costume. You can play as Diddy Kong in a way, because there's a costume where you're basically Diddy Kong. You can have a Waluigi costume. You can get they included a costume which was in one 90s commercial about a random video game. It's like a scientific Mario. There's so much in this game.
It's crazy.
I just love it to death. Like, I love it to death. But it's one of the games that I've never done 100% because I never want it to end. I don't know if you get that. I never want that game to end. I never want to do the 100% because it is such a core memory to me. I'd rather restart it 20 times than to finish it 100%. Like, it's that good. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's one of those things where like Mario Galaxy just means so much to me in what like the games that I was playing as a kid and how important it is. And I've always been nervous to go back to Odyssey because I feel like it would overtake it, but I'm just so I have to play it again. It's so good.
I've played it again recently. It's as good as I remember.
Yeah.
It's just I know where the moons are now, so it's that kind of like feeling of like trying to find a moon.
Discovery.
Discovery is not there anymore, but it just, I don't know, it creates another feeling of me that wants to do it as quick as possible. You know, it's
possible.
It's like a speed running mentality, or like just being like, oh, I wonder if I could just do this move instead to get this moon, like just try to break the game in a way. Like, it's the movement is so good that you can do so many things. You can break the game in so many ways. You can skip moons. There's so many things you can do. There's so many things you can do.
The game will provide you a problem that will allow you to have 3 to 5 solutions.
Yes.
It's just up to you to decide the way. And I love that in this Mario game specifically. So
the only thing that I think is a missed opportunity in that game is the Gothic world. I wish we would have a full world for this one, not like
like at the beginning.
No, not the beginning. The dragon world. like the Dark Souls.
Oh yeah, that was weird. That was crazy.
That was so weird. It was so realistic, but I was like, this looks so cool. It reminded me of a Creepy Castle, not Creepy Castle. I think that's what it's called, but on DK64, you know.
Yeah,
like, I
remember that. Yeah.
Like this world in a way. I don't know. It
looked like something straight out of Dark Souls.
Yeah,
that's the way I saw it.
Yeah. The boss fight too is like, I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, those two have always been number one. The things around it that I've always loved as well, and I've tried to have been in that like realm of being my favorites. I loved Super Mario Brothers Wonder. It really struck. Good. I thought I was way higher on it than other people, but then I went on Metacritic and it has like a 93.
Yeah.
This to me is the best 2D Mario to me.
Objectively, yes. I would say objectively is the best 2D Mario ever made.
It's so good. Yeah. This is the best looking 2D Mario in my opinion. This is one of the best looking Mario games. It's one of the best looking Switch games by far. And if you don't have Super Mario Brothers Wonder, please buy it and instead of New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe U. Yeah. It's just it feels like 10 times the game.
Same price.
It's just so much better.
Honestly, never buy New Super Mario Brothers. Unless you really want to play Mario, like, and you played everything else. Like, it's $80 even to this day. And the Mario Day sales are out, and it's not even on sale anymore. And like your chance of getting it at like $50 are gone. So now you're always gonna have to pay it $90 to get it. So
I have it. It's like a fine game, but in comparison to Wonder, it's not even the same. No, they're not even in the same league. Wonder is to me one of the greatest platformers of all time. It's so good. And I have a really soft spot for Mario Luigi Superstar Saga and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. I really love these. These I played them both pretty much at the same time growing up.
Yeah.
So and to me, these are the best Mario RPGs. I love them so much. So
these are your.
Did you have another game that you really loved?
Yeah. That's for me. Okay, for me, the number one spot was either Super Mario Land 2 or Mario Odyssey. So that fills the number one spot in a way. The second one for me, I think, is Super Mario 3D not All Star, but 3D World with the Bowser's Fury. I think it's an amazing game. It is one of the greatest co-op experience I've ever experienced in my life, especially the Switch port. There's a lot of things that they've improved on the Switch port, like a faster running speed, better frame rate, better animation, better everything. But it's like Mario Galaxy. All of the ideas of Mario Galaxy, but in the Super Mario Brothers 2 style, but in 3D.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, you basically play you can play up to 5 characters, but in the base game you have 4 characters. Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Peach. They have the same move as in Super Mario Brothers 2. And I don't know, it's just all of the interesting and over-the-top ideas that they had in Mario Galaxy, they've just implemented it in this game, but times 100. Like, there are so many crazy ideas, so many gameplay mechanics, so many new power-ups that are fun. And the Switch port came out with Bowser's Fury, which was kind of it was an open world Mario game. It was like a side game in a way. It came out after Odyssey, and I think it's less good than Odyssey, to be honest. It's really good, but it's
that one I really liked Bowser's Fury a lot. But yeah, I saw people saying like, "This is the new direction for Mario. Like, this is better," and I was like, "I don't think so. I still like what Odyssey brings. More.
I like more condensed stuff in a way.
Yes,
more quality, but condensed.
I really liked the ideas of exploring like parts in a level that are like levels within themselves. It's like it's crazy to think about.
Yeah. But it's a really good game, honestly. The combo is such a good price. Like, even if you still pay it $90 today, I think it's worth more than that. Like, it's worth,
for sure.
You're getting more for your money than that. It is an amazing single player experience, or a 4-player, 2-player, 3-player experience.
Yeah, it gives you that option.
Infinitely replayable game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So really good. The next one is Paper Mario, the original.
Oh yeah.
So nostalgic for me. The music, I remember. It's a very weird memory of me, but I remember my brother playing it. That's why I love it so much. I've never finished the game, but I've always remember my brother playing it, and I was so intrigued about this game. I thought it was so out of character for Mario. Like, in a way, like there's so many things that doesn't make sense for the Mario standard. The dialogue, the quirky characters, everything. It's just, I don't know, I just felt like it was a grandiose adventure, and I replayed it when it came out on the NSO. And man, I had a blast. It's such a good game.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Fantastic. I love it better than Thousand Year Door for me personally. So yeah. And my last honorable mention for me is Super Mario World. It is the first ever video game I've ever played in my life.
Wow.
Yeah. My uncle gave us his Super Nintendo when the N64 came out. So when I was like 3 or 4 years old, the first ever video game I've ever played is Super Mario World. So I grew up with it, and I don't know, it's just a solid 2D platformer. And it's kind of the reason why I love Super Mario Land so much is because it's like not an expansion, but it's like a portable Super Mario World in a way, but
they're similar in that way, for sure.
Very, very unique in a way. Like Mario Land 2 has so many unique enemies. They have so many like unique worlds. It's like Gunpei Yokoi, the creator of the Game Boy, created the game, so he wanted to put his own twist on it. That's why it's so different from Mario games in a way. But yeah, Super Mario World is just a solid game. So it's a big world that you explore. There's so many secrets. The ending is epic. The graphics are amazing. Everything is just good about this game, you know. And I just don't know. I just think it's in my honorable mentions.
The way I've always viewed it is that Super Mario Land 1 is like a portable-ish version of Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
And then Super Mario Land 2 is like a portable-ish version
of Super Mario
World.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I've always viewed it.
Exactly.
They're similar in that way.
Yeah. But they have their own twists. Like, they're very different art direction wise. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. But we can go on and on about Mario. Super Mario RPG was another one. Mario Kart.
Mario Kart is so good.
Right. Mario Party, we've played Mario a million 64, times together. Yeah.
Mario Sunshine is so good. Like,
all these games are fantastic.
Like, every Mario game is at least an 8 out of 10, in my opinion.
At least. Yeah, it's like, even Mario is missing.
Luigi, Mario missing 9.
And Green Luigi. Green Mario. That's my favorite one, you know. Heck, even Luigi's Mansion are goated.
Yeah.
Even those games are fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's hard to really think. It's harder to think of a bad Mario game than it is to think of a good one, because they completely outweigh. That's why whenever there's one that's less than stellar, it's like, whoa,
a big deal. Yeah, like Mario and Luigi Brothership. That's why that was such just kind of
okay, and it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
and even that game is
not that terrible.
Bad. It's just not it's just not.
For a Mario game, it's weird that it's not good, you know? That's the thing.
Or like Sticker Star, right?
Yeah.
That's another game that, in the grand scheme of things, is it the worst game ever? No. God, no. There's like way a million times worse game.
Yeah.
But in comparison to like the standard of Mario, he definitely falls. Yeah. They fall well short, right? So
exactly.
But yeah, we love Mario. Turning 40. Jeez. 40.
He's becoming old.
Yeah, no kidding. Have you ever seen just on a little thing, have you ever seen the Mario Atari commercial?
No. What is
it?
No,
never seen it? No. So yeah, it's Mario Brothers, the arcade game, like, where you're in the pipes and
with the turtles and everything, the Koopas.
Yeah. So there was a port to Atari, super weird, but the commercial is like a singing commercial. I definitely got to send it to you. It's wild because it looks like it's Luigi that's in these realistic pipes, and there's these giant crabs and like turtles, and Luigi's crying out, "Mario, where are you?" And it's like a song. It is wild. It's weird because especially seeing Mario on like Atari 2600. But yeah, it's super strange. That's definitely one. If y'all get a chance, go look up that commercial because it's really, really weird. So, so yeah, we love you, Mario. You're fantastic.
You're fantastic.
Keep up the good work. All right.
The next thing I want from Mario is Gianna Sisters.
Like what was that? That I always see that game.
Yeah. It's a good game.
Always get it.
Yeah, it's a good game, but it's just because Gianna Sisters is basically Mario 1 on I think Commodore 64. It's just the approach Nintendo.
Oh,
They were like, hey, we discovered that parallax scrolling is possible on computers, and they were like,
yeah,
I am not interested. I was like, okay. Now we will make Gianna Sisters. So yeah.
But yeah, shout out Mario.
Yeah,
keep up the good.
Keep up. Happy birthday, Mario.
Alrighty, Ben. We're approaching near the end of our show. We are going to say the next episode is going to be a very special episode. We got a big show planned.
Yes.
Seeing as it's our last episode before the big April 2nd Switch 2 presentation. So we got a whole show dedicated to Switch,
predictions.
How we got up to this point. We're going to talk about Switch 2 predictions, what we want to see, what kind of games we'll potentially see. We'll talk about maybe some Switch memories just briefly as well. Why the Switch means so much to us, and why we're excited for this new chapter. So we got a big one coming up. It's going to be really fun. So be sure to come next week because there's next episode. So
next episode, yeah. It's might not be next week.
Might not be next week. All right, it'll be 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
But it's going to be a crazy. We're going to have a good time. Just really going over what we're hoping for because we've never really laid it all out in the show.
No, we just talked about it.
Yeah,
a little bit, because
so we're excited to just really kind of sink our teeth into what we're excited for, and we are, really close now. Like,
oh my god, I can't wait! I can't wait.
We're talking
I'm getting
like 22 days, 23 days. We are right at the cusp of this presentation. So, we're really excited to just kind of talk about it for an hour and a half, 2 hours with you guys. So, Ben, what do you got working on? You got some stuff coming out, right? You got some videos coming out, right?
I've got a video coming out, not today, but for you guys tomorrow. Because I'm gonna,
when the video's put,
it's just it's a gaming pickups, it's just
very nice.
And I'm working on 3 videos right now.
Wow, okay,
maybe 4. I really want to focus on more long form content because I had a video blown up recently on my YouTube channel, and
great video. If you guys haven't taken a watch, please give it a watch.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, it's the first time that I'm investing so much time because it was my biggest video. It was like 30 minutes long. But if you guys don't know, a 30-minute video on YouTube is like 20, 30 hours of editing usually. Scripting, editing, and everything. It's like a week's work, but like I have a 40-hour job. I stream. I have to do shorts every 2 days. Like, yeah. So, very, very lots of effort put into this video, and it went great. So I'm happy. I'm gonna try to focus more on long form video over on YouTube. So I'm trying to release them bi-weekly. The same thing as like pretty much the same day as the podcast, probably. So that's what I'm trying to do, and at the same time, still streaming. Of course, I'm not streaming a little bit less, but I want to focus more on long form content. So that's why,
it's usually about 2 to 3 times a week.
Now, right? 2 to 3 times a week.
Used to be more. So, but I think that's important to have that balance.
Yeah,
right? So.
3 times a week, I think is the best thing as a small creator. There's no point for me to be more than 2 hours 3 times a week on stream. There's no point. I'm just wasting my time. So that's what I've got going on. How about you, Juice?
I'm trying to do the same thing where I make about 3 to 4 videos a week. And you can watch me on TikTok. Just some real short form stuff. I'm trying to do some discussions. I'm trying to get better at my video editing. I'm trying to put in, game trailers, gameplay, all this kind of stuff. So I'm trying to get back into it.
Your Lego CD Undercover video was
you like
great.
That? Thanks.
Oh yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it. At first I didn't thought you liked that game, so I was like, okay. And the editing was on point. It was, I liked it. I really liked it.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with it. We're back into mostly the swing of streaming, so you can catch Mags and I on Monday nights, and I'm doing some morning streams. I'm doing some editing, trying to get the overlays down. I don't fully love them right now, so I'm just trying to get them all cleaned up and stuff. Yeah. So got some work to do, but that's what I'm up to. Ben, where can everyone find your stuff at?
You can find me on YouTube, TikTok, and on Twitch at Benduzo. Same username as here. How about you, Juice? Where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me. I am solely pretty much on TikTok for my streams and my video content. You can find myself and Mags at Juice Bar Gaming on TikTok. Well, that's going to wrap it up here for No Continues. We got a fun one coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're really excited. So go enjoy some games, get ready, sit back, enjoy this nice quiet time because, April is going to
the video game world is going to shift.
It's going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We're in for a ride.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening. We will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.